The Outdoor Show. It's the program that puts you into the peaceful and beautiful home of Mother Nature. It moves you back to that calm fishing pond up north, one step away from Lake Michigan, or into your hunting blind on a brisk fall morning. The Outdoor Show. It's a peaceful program. This is not your mother's outdoor show. This is the WHTC Outdoor Show, hosted by a guy who literally has hunting in his name. Tom Medendorp is Dutch for Village in the Maiden, or King's Hunting Ground. Your co-host, sometimes, is Tim Becker of Powderhorn Guns and Archery. It's time for what really happens when the guys go up north on that hunting trip. It's time for the WHTC Outdoor Show, presented by My Firearms ETS. That's MI Firearms ETS on 1450 WHTC, Hollands News Leader.
Good morning. Welcome to the Outdoor Show. I'm Tom Medendorp. My sometimes co-host, Tim Becker from Powderhorn Guns and Archery, actually showed up today.
I'm here.
And we've got Kristen Hintz from the Ottawa County Parks and Recreation.
Good morning, Tom. How are you?
I am awesome.
Fantastic.
At least that's what people tell me.
Well, yeah. You know what? You're always here with a smile, and who could ever start the morning with a bad morning just hanging out with you?
Right.
We talked about that just a couple weeks ago. Better than a hot cup of coffee, I think Chris dubbed it.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's some competition.
Always on time, too.
Oh, sure.
Always on time.
Oh, sure. Did you catch that over there on the other side?
No, I didn't.
On the other side of the board? I said Chris came up with that it was better than a hot cup of coffee. So Dan, he had to put his 2 cents in and say, that's a stretch. I caught that. But luckily, he doesn't have a mic.
Yeah.
You got his mic today.
I control the board.
He's got control of the board.
He's got the buttons.
Yep.
So, this week, some things have been happening. How about the UP?
How about that?
The deer hunting.
Yeah. Oof.
Did you know that the deer, they count the deer, Mackinac,
Yes.
the bridge. They count the deer. And this year, hopefully, this year will go down in history as the lowest harvest ever since the bridge was built.
I believe it. Aren't most parts of the UP down up to 70%? In deer numbers?
Could be in many areas, but the harvest this year was down 47%.
Oh, wow.
Total.
Wow.
And why is that, Tom, do you think?
Well, it's funny that you asked that because there's going to be people that are going to think this or that, and they're going to have different opinions. Now,
Wolves.
some people are going to go with the wolves as being the problem. Now, I don't disagree that the wolves do take a lot of the deer. They're hungry.
Yep.
They have to eat.
Mother Nature.
But Mother Nature, the snowfall up there. My cousin went up, and they were going to hunt. They went there the first night, and in the morning they took the truck to get to where they normally go. They could only get within 7 miles of where they go. But he took the snowmobile along because he knew there was snow.
Yep.
That's 7 miles. He left the truck at 8 a.m. He didn't return to the truck till 5:05 p.m.
Oh, wow.
They were logging down the road, and the guy with the skidder was ready to come and find him.
Oh, really?
Follow his track through the woods to come find him. It took him that long to get through that with the snowmobile.
Yeah.
You'd go a little ways, you get on top most of them, fall through, and then you had to dig it out, pull it back, get going, fall through.
Oh, and that
takes a lot of energy. I've actually walked in snow where you take about 5 steps and then post hole, and then the snow goes up to your knees, and then you can hardly walk a mile sometimes. So I can imagine carrying your gun and everything else that you need to carry. And you're trudging through snow, trying to get into those remote areas where the deer might be hanging out. There could be a possibility that the success rate could be down due to hunters not being able to get to where they need to be. I could see that.
Yeah, what is the acreage of the UP? Any guess?
Oh, I wouldn't even dare.
It's half. It's half again the lower plus some, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
2,233 deer from the UP came across the bridge to come back. That's it.
Now, is that over the opening weekend? Or is that
that's
to date?
for the season?
Oh, no kidding.
Up to date.
Of gun season or season?
I think that's the total season coming back. Now, the harvest is down in northern lower, 10%. Southern lower was down 5%. So there's factors going on in the UP that really killing the deer hunt.
Yep.
As far as people going up there and hunting. Now that hurts their economy.
Yep.
You know, the UP depends on that for income. You know, many of them. We got a caller on the line.
All right.
Good morning. How are you?
Hello.
Yeah.
Morning.
Who are we talking to?
My name is Tom DeYoung. What I'm calling for is Brent, I believe, is going to be doing an interview on the van. Are you there?
Yeah, we're here.
Oh, okay. I'm wondering how to get a hold of him, or could you contact him with a note for me, or?
You've actually reached the wrong program. You want to call in to 395-0927, okay?
395-0927?
Yes, you're on the Breakfast Club this morning, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get, yeah.
Yep, call 395-0927, okay?
Okay, thanks.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
That is the beauty of live radio, my friends.
Well, yeah. Well, you know, he's accustomed to 395-1450. You know, and that's the number that everybody knows in town. So anyhow, back to the effects, things that could be causing this, the lower numbers for the deer hunt, hunter effort, hunting technology. Now, I'm not sure how the technology is going to come into play for lower numbers, but that's something. Weather, definitely. The climate, habitat, if there's a loss of habitat, that we're losing the number of deer. Land ownership, people buying up land and not allowing people to hunt it. The forest management practices can definitely cause that. License prices. You know, we changed our structure this year. I heard a lot of complaints until I explained to people this is why we have these certain licenses, such as the base license. You get to hunt small game.
Yeah.
I heard a lot of people complain about that, and then once they knew, oh, that's my small game license.
Yeah.
Says that one's actually cheaper.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, it is. Gas prices, agricultural practices. You know whatever they're growing based on the market.
Yep.
Baiting and feeding practices can really play a role into nocturnal deer. Wouldn't you agree with that?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, depends on what you're doing.
Yep.
Predator population, so there's your wolf item. The southern lower peninsula deer herd being a better herd, people staying south. And then we got the TB, the CWD, et cetera, and that list can go on and on. So we can't just say, it's the wolves. They did it. It's their fault.
Sure we can.
Well, there's a lot of people that would say that. And if we, think about it, there's got to be some measures to control the herd or the pack, but also there's groups in Lansing right now that are pushing for a double reward on wolf poaching, because a lot of wolf poaching goes on, and that's it's one thing to have a regulated hunt to control populations. But you throw poaching in there, and poaching kind of messes the whole thing up. Yeah, how do you do that?
Yeah.
You get people in there. Poaching. We don't have enough DNR officers to catch everybody.
Oh yeah.
The nice part is wolves are very elusive. It's hard for people to get them as far as poaching goes and so on. So
you mean they won't go and chase after people and?
They maybe won't. But it's awful scary. Like my buddy was snowmobiling there a few years back, and he's going down the trail, and he sees something in the woods. So he comes to a stop, and what is it? It's a wolf standing there. He said, it was the biggest dog I ever seen. And honestly, they're not going to go after people as long as they have a food source. Kind of like coyotes. Did you know that Jamestown, east of here, Jamestown, the biggest threat they had when they settled Jamestown was not, people think, well, they settled, the Indians were bad. It wasn't an Indian thing in war. It was coyotes. Coyotes were so populated in the Jamestown area, and that's because of all the gullies and ravines that we have from all the water flow going to the swamp, which was the Great Swamp, which, I live on the edge of that thing.
And I was going to say, just the relationships between coyotes, between wolves, and even the natural resources itself. There was a really great film about how the wolves had changed the channel of the river because of its effects on managing the high deer population and the moose population, and that it kept them away from the river. At one time, they used to go down to the river, which destabilized the banks, which brought in more sediment. And when the wolves were introduced into that area, then the population of deer and moose moved out of that area, and slowly over time the banks were revegetated because they weren't overbrowsed as much. And so we rarely ever think about the connections of a top predator having impacts on a riverbank. And there's so many unique relationships that go on. And, you think about just the wolves in Isle Royale and how they control the moose population.
Yeah.
That's pretty important too. And without that, and they actually hunt the sick and the weak and take out those, not the top one, not the top, prey. And so, I think that there are probably many different, factors that influence, just like you said, the deer population, and I think the wolves have it.
The scope of things is much larger than we most times look at.
Right.
It's huge. It's very huge.
It's easy to focus on one single story instead of multiple stories that go into that.
Right. And the hard part is we as people listening to advertisements, to propaganda, we're not fully educated on what's going on. Now, you would have more of an education in how everything ties together with the ecosystem, whereas we're looking at, Tim and I, most times we're looking at what happens. Coyotes come into my backyard. Coyotes are there a lot.
Yeah, and their population has increased a lot.
Yeah, and what that does, it decreases the rabbits, the squirrels. They get into the eggs for the pheasants and things like that. So we're looking at, what's happening to these animals? Where are they going? Well, there's the big picture, and we need to control that, right? And the DNR, we're trusting them to do that. Some people don't trust them. Other people do trust them quite emphatically. But it's tough. It's tough to figure out what to do. And I don't think that we sitting here can make that decision. I think it needs a lot of scientific background.
Yes,
more educated.
Yeah, and that's where the NRC comes in. That's where the NRC comes into play. We'll talk a little bit about that in a little bit. The Outdoor Show is brought to you by Westenbrook Mower, where they service what they sell. And did you know there's supposed to be snow coming on Christmas Eve?
Yes.
And if people don't have their snowblowers, they got to get on down to Westenbrook Mower and pick up their snowblowers. It's Arians and Toro, and they've got a complete showroom at the new location, which is on 120th between Chicago Drive and Lakewood Boulevard, and it's a phenomenal location. I love going there. It's open. You can see all the stuff there, and it's just a great place to go to work with the people. The people are awesome there. Stop into the Holland or the Genesis store. Check them out on your computer at westonbrookmower.com or call them at 616-396-5733. Lines are open. Give us a call, 395-1450. We'll be back here shortly on The Outdoor Show. Welcome back to The Outdoor Show, brought to you by West Michigan Bow Hunters, protecting our hunting rights and educating the next generation about our hunting heritage here in Michigan. West Michigan Bow Hunters is a chapter of Safari Club International. Before we get right back into it, though, West Michigan Bow Hunters, February 28th is the dinner this year.
Nice.
I went to the dinner last year. It was absolutely awesome. Yep. It is a really fun time. They have... they're doing a fundraiser, but they have all kinds of different games that you play for the fundraiser. Yep. They have games that the kids can get involved in. They have games for the adults to get involved in. They have games specifically for the women to get involved in. And then when they're doing like the auction part, and they come around, they'll have like a little red wagon, the little red wagon auction, and you they walk around to the tables and you buy tickets, and everything in that little red wagon will be yours if you get drawn. And I could not believe the value of what was sitting in that wagon. Now, I didn't win.
We'll have to talk to them.
Tickets.
Yeah.
I bought way too many tickets for what I didn't win.
No such thing.
But
go to a good cause.
That's the thing. That's the thing. When I looked at it, I thought, you know what? This is going for those kids to go to camp.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're raising the money for the kids to go to camp. So what I want to tell the listeners, I want to tell them to keep on listening because we're going to give you more information coming up about the West Michigan Bow Hunters dinner, fundraising dinner, and it's going to be February 28th. I think dinner's served at 6. It's at the Pinnacle in Hudsonville. And if you've ever been to the Pinnacle, it's good eating there.
Oh, man.
It's got some great food.
Yeah. It's really a neat place to do it. It's a big open area and so on. It's awesome. And that's on February 28th, and we're going to get you more information as the weeks go along here. Because I think we're like 9 weeks away or
not very
10 weeks away. So we got a caller. Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
How are you this morning?
Fine, thank you. Hey, just a quick question, and I don't know the premise of your show, but I hear you talking about hunting and fishing. Recently, I had acquired a felony child support charge, and I know they took my right to own a gun.
Okay.
Am I still allowed to bow hunt or use black powder? Now, I heard I was, and I'm kind of sketchy on the...
I'm not 100% versed on that. Tim, do you know?
Yeah, I can help you a little bit, but of course I'm not...
Okay, I'll hang up and listen.
Okay. That sounds great. And of course we're not able to make legal decisions and whatnot, but
when we cover that in a second, we got a caller.
Oh, excellent.
No? Let him go. Oh, okay.
Let him go? Okay.
Gotcha.
What I know for sure is, yes, you may bow hunt. Bow hunting is no issue. From what I've heard,
this is if you have a felony charge.
If you have a felony charge,
but it's not a firearms charge.
But it's not. It doesn't matter. Felony charge, felony charge.
Oh, and you can still use a bow. Okay.
You can still use a compound. Now,
did you do the disclaimer when I was handing with the Dan here? We're not legal advice.
Yeah, we're not legal advice. But yes, you may still bow hunt. As far as I know, muzzleloader is still a no. Strictly because it's a firearm. Yep. And there were some gray areas around crossbow, but I'm not
because of the trigger actuation.
Yep, trigger actuation. Yep. But what I'm not 100% sure about is the crossbow. I do know that you are completely legal to bow hunt.
Okay.
The best thing you can do is probably call the DNR straight and ask them, or the state police,
sheriff's department,
Sheriff's Department probably would have that answer too.
And I would definitely recommend that you
don't dial 911 for that question.
No. And just give them a phone call and check everything out with the law, and they will be able to help you with that. But bow hunting, I do know, is okay.
Okay, awesome. We got another caller on the line, Dan? No? They weren't able to wait long enough.
They'll call back.
They'll call back. Now they know we're done with that item right there.
Yep.
We were talking in the first segment about reasons that the deer population are down, and you mentioned some things due to the weather during break.
Yeah.
Give us a little recap on that, just a short one.
Well, I have a bunch of customers and a bunch of friends in multiple different parts of the UP.
Wait, did you say you have a bunch of friends?
I pay them.
Oh, okay. Now I understand.
I do. Dan, I owe you, by the way, so I'll come up with that. Dan's sitting there saying, I never said I was your friend. You haven't paid me enough.
I can see the look on his face.
Yeah. But, the weather had contributed a lot to the loss of some of the deer herd up in the UP. And what we had found, and it was neat for me to realize that anywhere from the west side to the east side of the UP, multiple different people have come to me at the shop and told me that during the opening 3 to 4 days of the Michigan gun season, so November 15th through the 19th or 20th, they had seen the full migration. Maybe not full migration, but nose to tail does, seeing 30 to 60 of them.
When they all herd up,
and they start coming through, and they're heading to the yards, and they saw that in the beginning of the gun season already, and then they went back in for the end of the muzzleloader, figuring that the migration would either be through or they would see it real well, and they had found quite a few dead deer that had died because of the cold weathers and the heavy snow already. And,
goodness gracious.
Yeah, and there was numerous ones of them, so that's just strictly affecting the deer herd right now again, too.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, so I know a lot of people are starting to supplement feed out there and put some food out in the woods by their homes and whatnot, just so they can help out with the herd.
There's a place for them to eat, because it's tough for them to get to the food.
Yeah.
Before we head off to break, did you know, let's see, was the 17th was Wednesday?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Wednesday. somebody poached a moose in Baraga County.
No.
Poaching a moose.
Oh, jeez.
We don't have a season on moose.
Yeah. But I was sure it was a big deer. You know that's what was said. God, that's angry.
Well, here's the thing. The moose got poached. It was discovered they haven't caught the people.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So rewards are being offered, and I'm glad they are.
Oh, absolutely.
There's got to be an answer to the poaching. So anybody's got an answer to the poaching and how to get it to be reduced, give us a call. Let us know what your opinion is.
And that's said because there are so many responsible hunters, and
yeah.
and when you have people that poach, it gives a bad rap to all of the other hunters who are responsible.
One bad person affects
one bad
everybody.
person, and that news gets out, and it's so easy to point a finger and say those hunters over there. And unfortunately, there are many great hunters who are very responsible, and
it's like the elk poaching. There's talk right now they're going to double the reward on elk poaching.
Absolutely.
Or fine. Fine. They're going to double that. So, it's a problem, and we need to keep it under control in our great state of Michigan so we can keep all the rights that we afford here in Michigan for hunting and fishing and outdoor activities, which, by the way, the outdoor activities are coming up next.
All right.
Farmers Co-op Elevator in Hudsonville is your food plot headquarters with over 40 different seed varieties to choose from, providing in-house soil testing as well as fertilizers, lime, and equipment to plant, maintain, and get maximum performance out of your food plot. Visit the Farmers Co-op at 3302 Prospect Street in Hudsonville. For a complete list of products and services, check them out online at fcelevator.com. Lines are open. Give us a call, 395-1450. We'll be back here shortly on The Outdoor Show. Welcome back to the Outdoor Show, brought to you by Powderhorn Guns and Archery for all your arrow-knocking, gun-cocking, fish-hooking, flag-waving, stand-up and sing God Bless America hunting and fishing needs. Lines are open. Give us a call, 395-1450. We're back, ready to answer your questions right here on the Outdoor Show.
I still have not learned to whistle.
No, you haven't.
And I've had a lot of time in deer stands and driving. I should learn to whistle.
Oh, golly. I have to laugh because how many weeks has everybody been without the whistling along with the Stars and Stripes?
It, yeah. Just makes me proud.
Proud, he says. Proud. I have to make a little correction real quick. The moose carcass was actually discovered on December 13th.
Okay.
And it was believed what they had found, because you had asked if it was somebody harvested it or if they just shot it. Well, the carcass was there. What they took, I don't know. Maybe it had large antlers that they wanted or whatever it may have been, or maybe they took the hindquarters. I have no idea, and I don't have that news. So they found it on the 13th. They figured it was killed in late November. So let's look at what Tim said a little while ago. It was a big deer.
Oh, exactly. That's exactly what's going to be said if they find these people. I thought it was a deer, and
they're still going to get a fine. They're still going to get a fine.
They better.
But isn't it a responsibility to know exactly what you are shooting before you shoot? I mean, isn't
know
that
your target and what is beyond.
Yeah.
Isn't that the general rule for hunting? Is track what you're going to shoot, know what you're going to shoot, identify what you're going to shoot.
You know how many times I've heard too, and it's upsetting to me and to all hunters that some people do things like this. You know, you're giving everybody a bad name, but then how many times do you hear it too when people are out deer hunting? And, you go to help them recover that animal and you ask, well, what was it, a buck or a doe? And they say, I don't know. Well, how do you not know there was another hunter behind it then? That just bothers me. And I've heard it a lot.
Well, I'd say let's stop kicking this dead dog, but let's stop kicking this dead moose and let's get out of these parks and recreation activities.
All right.
There's and that's not to say let's not talk about it, because I want to keep talking about it, but we want to talk about the winter sports and activities that are going on with Ottawa County parks. For people that don't have the calendar in front of them, like we have a nice, beautiful calendar here, because if they didn't sign up for the mailing list, they won't get that. And you can call and get signed up, right?
There are several ways in which you can find out about programs being offered with Ottawa County Parks. One of them is to go to the Facebook website and just type in Ottawa County Parks, and we post all of our programs and updates on the Facebook page. Another way is to call the Nature Education Center at Hemlock Crossing, and that number is 616-786-4847. Another way is to go on to the Ottawa County website, www.miottawa.org, and look under Parks. And we have the newsletter right there online. So there are many different ways to find out about those programs.
Good.
Did you know I'm typing in Ottawa County Parks, and all the way till I get to Ottawa County P, right on top it says Ottawa County Patriots.
All right, we need some more hits there.
I'm looking for Ottawa County Parks. Where's Ottawa County Parks? I get Park Township right up top. There it is, Ottawa County Parks and Recreation.
There you go.
So the name actually has Parks and Recreation in it, right?
Correct.
Okay. So that's the Facebook page. And then that web address was miottawa.org. And then you got to put /parks in there. Okay. Because we've been to the website plenty of times and gone through that with folks. But they can go there. Anybody can go there and check that out. But now we have the calendar in front of us, and we've got some cool things coming up.
We do, and some of it is weather dependent, and some of it is not.
Some of it's snow dependent.
So, exactly. So when I heard that we might get snow over Christmas, that's very exciting.
Well, yeah, especially for the Pigeon Creek location.
Exactly. Pigeon Creek Park has cross-country ski trails, both traditional classic ski trails as well as skate skiing. And when there is snow covering the ground, they are groomed to perfection. They are so nice. And you can rent cross-country skis and snowshoes. You can't snowshoe on those cross-country ski trails, but we do have a designated snowshoe trail at Pigeon Creek Park. But if you just want to go all over the place and snowshoe, Hemlock Crossing County Park also rents snowshoes too.
So you can blaze your own trail.
You can, to an extent, yes. But to go into the really sensitive wetland areas in snowshoes, probably not. But
because your feet become very large at that point.
Exactly.
And things get pushed down.
Well, if you have a whole bunch of people tromping in one particular area, it can have an impact. But
so if I blaze a trail somewhere, somebody's going to follow that trail.
You got it. Yeah. But there are fantastic trails. I mean, go into the Red Pine Forest. And,
now, do people have to call and reserve snowshoes, skis, anything like that, or can they just drive over to Pigeon Creek Park location and get in on it if everything's not rented?
Correct. They can just drive right up to Pigeon Creek Park and go on in and rent cross-country skis or snowshoes. It is first come, first serve. So.
Okay. Something I've kind of just realized. All the times we've talked about Pigeon Creek Park, we've never told anybody where it is.
All right. Well, there are many different ways to get there. If you are driving from Grand Haven, you're going to take 31 south. If you're driving from Holland, it's going to be 31 north, and you're going to exit Stanton and go east. Stanton Street, and go east on Stanton and continue east on Stanton until you come to Pigeon Creek Park on the right-hand side.
And about how far down is it?
Oh, gosh, probably 4 or 5 miles, maybe 4 miles
from US 31.
From US 31.
Yeah. It's right 420th Street.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
if you've hit the
just to the west of 120th.
Yeah,
right.
I come out of Zeeland. Well, we take 96th Street up and then hit Stanton across, or hit Fillmore across, or whatever, and then go there, or hit Port Sheldon across, and then buzz up on 120th. But then Stanton Street, just west on Stanton Street of 120th.
Correct.
And it's on the south side of the road.
Yes.
And it's a beautiful, beautiful area.
And it's exciting because we just re-groomed or redid the sledding hill. So we graded the sledding hill. It should be nicer without having it's a little bit steeper in some areas, but you're not going to have all those major bumps that can send you flying into the air.
Come on!
But it is still fun. I took a look at it, and I think that it's going to be a great sledding hill this year.
Are there snow tubes there?
You have to bring your own snow tubes. You have to bring your own sleds and such. Are you talking about?
So there's no sledding equipment to get?
Correct.
You bring your own. So you can bring your snow tubes, you can bring your toboggans, you can bring your snowboards.
You can bring your snowboards. You just can't bring in the steel runner sleds. Yeah. But I think that's pretty much outlawed at any sledding hill.
You guys want to hear
golly, because I still have one of those.
I do too. I've got an American Flyer.
You can
American Flyer.
Nice.
Nice.
But can I use it?
No.
Man.
So you want to hear some good history about that?
Yeah. After we answer our caller.
Oh, we got a caller.
Yes,
Great.
we do. Good morning.
Great.
How are you?
Good morning.
I'm fine. How are you?
Excellent. Who are we speaking to?
This
first name,
Tom
fine.
Young, just Tom. I called you earlier about getting a hold of Brent Allen at the Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
And somebody gave me a number, but they said it's disconnected. Maybe I wrote it down wrong.
What was the number, Dan? You repeat it to me, I'll repeat it to him. 395 0927.
That's what I tried. They say it's disconnected.
Huh.
395-0927.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, we'll find out if there's a different number, and if there is, we'll announce it.
Is there a way you could get a message to Brent, a very short message?
Yeah.
Hey,
okay. We got to put you on
hold.
hold.
We're going to put you on hold
Dan
for a
catch
second.
you, okay?
Dan will get a hold of you. 1 second.
Okay, so Dan's going to take care of Tom, and while he's doing that, we need to talk about some of the activities that we have coming up with Ottawa County Parks, some of the stuff that we can go to Hemlock Crossings and be a part of. But before we hit those activities, Pigeon Creek's got the lodge, right?
Yes.
And they do serve hot cocoa and stuff there sometimes?
They have hot cocoa, chili, hot dogs,
Chili
snacks.
and hot dogs?
They've got...
Tim, we're going sledding when the snow comes.
They've got fantastic food. You can get hot dogs. You can get a nice hot bowl of chili with cheese and crackers, Snicker bars, candy, you name it.
Tim, we're going to Pigeon Creek. We're going to sled down the sand. We're sledding down the sand.
No tab, though. There is no food tab on me.
She knows us.
Oh, yeah. Shoot.
We got to take cash.
We could really make that tab high quick.
So that is Pigeon Creek Lodge.
Are there activities like what you do at Hemlock at Pigeon Creek?
There are cross-country ski clinics. So if you have never...
so there's clinics.
There are clinics. There is a beginner clinic where you learn about the basic techniques for cross-country skiing. Then there's the intermediate cross-country ski clinic just to help people refine their technique and ski more efficiently. And then there is a ski skating clinic. So if you're tired of the classic cross-country two-track, and you want to learn how to skate ski, we have skate skis to rent, and fantastic instructors who will teach you those techniques for skate skiing on the track. And that's a good workout.
Wow.
It's
we
fun.
should teach that, Tom.
So
Yeah. Yeah. You, me, work out.
Yeah.
It does not go together.
I thought that I could skate ski because I downhill ski and I can skate ski on my downhill skis very well. Skate skiing on cross-country skis, I think that there definitely is a technique. And yeah, I can do it, but by taking a lesson, it would definitely help me become a more efficient skate skier. And I wouldn't be burning so much energy to try to get to that.
It's just like when we get people in for shooting. They can shoot, but there's so many things that we can teach them to increase their ability.
Exactly.
And it's just, you get out there and you go do these activities. If you're interested in skiing and you want to see how many different things you can do, that'd be an awesome clinic to go to.
And I like to talk a little bit about how people can find out more about recreational opportunities throughout all of the seasons in Ottawa County Parks. We actually have a winter open house January 3rd.
Okay, January 3, so we're only 2 weeks away from that.
Right.
Where's that at?
That's going to be at Hemlock Crossing County Park, and it will be from 1 to 4 p.m. We have a couple exciting things going on. One of them is that we have a musical group that is really well known in Holland. They play at the Curragh a lot, and that's the Moxie Strings. And they will be playing some great fiddle music. And
Is that the guys that do the Irish music?
Yes, the Curragh. They're two women, actually. It's Diane.
Oh, then I didn't hear them, because there were guys doing Irish music at the Curragh when we went there last year sometime.
The Moxie Strings, when they come to the Curragh, they sell, the place is packed
with
people. They are phenomenal. And they are actually coming to play at the Nature Education Center at 2:00. We will also
on January 3.
On January 3, we will also have boards talking about all the different recreational opportunities within the parks: cross-country skiing, snowshoeing where you can do it, mountain biking, hiking.
So this is a big open house.
This is a big open house. We'll have children's activities as well, where our guides will be having different crafts and activities.
Will they be teaching the kids how to clog?
Daycare.
No.
Well, you get the Irish music going.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's only 2:00.
How about the jig?
We've got mammal stations. No. We've got tracking and snow. Actually, Jim Benko will be there. Who does photographs of snowflakes, and he'll be talking about snowflakes. And we'll have snowflake activities. Name it. A lot of fun things.
That sounds like a lot of fun, and we're going to cover a little bit more when we come back.
Okay.
The Outdoor Show is brought to you by Advantage Marine and Zealand, with competitive prices and personalized service to meet all your needs: repair, storage, winterizing, parts, and more. Call Advantage Marine and Zealand at 616-748-9235, or stop in and see Dave, who I know personally, and I know he'll take care of you. 8755 Riley Street in Zealand. That's at the corner 88th and Riley on the northeast side of Zealand. Lines are open. Give us a call, 395-1450. We'll be back here shortly on The Outdoor Show. Welcome back to The Outdoor Show, brought to you by My Firearms ETS, educating people in the safe and responsible use of firearms since 2001. My Firearms ETS offers education, training, and supply, the best you can find anywhere. Classes are offered regularly. Class sizes are limited. Register early to reserve your spot, 616-218-7328, or find us on your computer at mifirearmsets.com. And you get to talk right to me. I mean,
that's win-win.
Well, yeah.
Call on in.
Well, yeah. Tim complimented me. I'm so excited.
I figured today I'll be nice since I've been gone so much. But next week?
Oh, man.
I'm glad I won't be here next week. I'm glad you're both on friendly terms at the moment.
At the moment. Friendly terms.
Well.
How could we be any other way? We're two of the most friendly people you'll ever meet.
Yes.
So, the open house, January 3, over at Hemlock Crossings.
1 to 4.
1 to 4, correct.
So, when people looking for Hemlock Crossings, I always, because I'm by Port Sheldon and US 31, I always jump over to the old 136, the old highway, and I just drive right up there. Is that the best way to go, to turn over to that?
It is just parallel of 31 between Croswell and Port Sheldon. So if you're going north on 31, you can either take the old highway
on the west side
of 31, or if you want, you can just drive up 31 and cross the railroad tracks up at Croswell. So you'll go west, cross those railroad tracks, and make an immediate left, and that takes you on West Olive Road. And you're going south on West Olive Road by 0.4 of a mile. So it's not very far from
What's
Croswell.
the road just to the south of Hemlock Crossing?
Well, it is actually 144.
Yep.
So you can take 144. Yep. That's the way I come to work, 144
and then you just
hang
a right to head north, and you're probably 0.3 of a mile?
Actually, once you would turn left, and we go north on west. If you're coming up 144th.
He's been lost a couple times, Kristen. It's okay.
Come up 144th, and then you will intersect at...
you're talking coming through town up past Family Fair.
Yes.
I'm thinking the highway if they took 144th off that.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
She should know this.
You're right. Well, I come up from Division, from West Ottawa Beach Road, and then Ottawa Beach Road, straight up 144th until I get to that intersection of West Olive Road.
Hemlock Crossings, just on the west side of US 31, but it's actually, the entrance is off from the old highway, which is that called West Olive Road?
No. Well, yeah, it is actually up towards Grand Haven more.
It's West Olive Road.
It's 136 is the name of it, isn't it?
136 in Holland, and as you go further up, it becomes West Olive Road.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, yeah, because 136 at Port Sheldon is on the west side of the road to the south.
Yeah.
It's on the north side.
You're right.
Or on the east side going north.
Yeah, just past the tech center.
Yes. Because it transfers over because of the highway going on an angle.
Yep.
Anyway, the open house is January 3, 1 to 4. You got to make it down there. That is got to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. You gonna have food there?
We will have some refreshments there. Yes, we will have food.
She said some refreshments.
Well, we're talking about, nothing like that.
Can't we
Are we going to have hot dogs?
Venison dinner or anything like that?
Take the stuff from Pigeon Creek, bring it over there so we can have chili and hot dogs.
Well, how about
we could have venison dinner.
Oh, that would be fun.
You want to donate some?
Tim will take care of you.
Tom doesn't hunt. Well, I guess you can't. If you were hunting, I'd have to be here.
Hey.
So,
boy, that would work out nice.
Yeah. Dan, why are you shaking your head no?
Why do you think?
But we also have, for those that might not want to trudge out in the snow or be where it's cold, we do have coffee with the birds as well. And we have a wildlife viewing area with a lot of bird activity, and the second Saturday of each month. So the next one will be January 10th. You can come in and have coffee and some baked goods and look at the bird feeders, and Curtis will be there to answer questions and look at birds. And
with all the connections that we have with the outdoor show,
yes,
I'll bet we could fill every Saturday with the parks, the DeGraff Nature Center, the ODC, and my favorite, February 21, at the Hollands Civic Center from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., Holland's original gun and knife show is going on. And you can't imagine some of the treats we have in store for people this year, including if you don't have an NRA membership, if you come get your NRA membership that morning at a discounted rate. Okay, so we're getting your NRA membership. We're normally $35 for an annual. I'll just do the annual right now. $35 for annual. We're giving it to you for $25. Plus, you get free admission to the show. That's on Saturday, February 21. And it's the gun and knife show, so you don't even have to be looking for a gun. You can be looking for a knife.
All right.
And there are all kinds of cool things there, things for hunting.
Or just looking to come see us.
Well, that's the thing. We're going to be there. You can come in and talk to Tom and Tim. We're going to actually be broadcasting on that morning from the Civic Center. That we're going to have Dan. We're going to get Dan out in the cold.
You can meet Dan. What a peach of a man!
How many people haven't met Dan yet in this area?
And I'll tell you what, everybody should.
Great voice. Yep.
Yeah.
Got to meet the person with the great voice on the radio.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, Kristen listens to you.
See.
But you can come and see Tim and I, which we apologize ahead of time because we do have looks for radio.
Well, you do. I'm gorgeous. We've already gone over this.
But it's Saturday, February 21, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Hollands Civic Center. The Hollands original gun and knife show is going on, and this is the 28th year. 28th year.
That's amazing.
We've got other stuff we're going to tell you about in the upcoming weeks that are going to go on that are new and exciting that go along with the Holland Gun and Knife Show. So, Kristen, thank you for coming in, and thank you for bringing in some different options to think about when we talk about deer herds.
You are welcome. Well, it's always a pleasure being on your show, Tom. And Tim, it's great to see you again. And we'll definitely have another opportunity, I'm sure.
Awesome.
So have a great day, everyone.
Catch us here next week right here on the Outdoor Show.